species. We are social mammal, and like wolves, like lions, we have to live in community, hunt together, create business together, and exchange, take care of one another. My background, it's about permaculture. In 1993-92, I was in Rio for the big gathering, and I realized how horrible the situation of this planet was. And we could have done something then, but very little has been done. And now there is a little excitement to catch up, because too many things we have to work in, too many things in the same time. So pops up the Human Permaculture and the Permaculture toolbox. Now, I have to explain, and I do in this book I wrote in 2016, and I sold thousands of books because people are waking up and trying to understand what to do. So Human Permaculture, it's a book that is available only in ebook and audiobook and accessible in India. So first, I want to clarify what is permaculture. Most of the time we think permaculture is limiting in agriculture or in technique of garden. It's much more than that. And then the difference between permaculture and the how we apply it in human, and how you can apply it after this meeting. So it's not only a conference, it's a little workshop. So in 1970s, we have this fantastic person, Masanobu Fukuoka from Japan, that inspired David Holmgren and Bill Mollison in a situation in Australia where the agriculture was terrible and the land was awfully destroyed, like little it is now everywhere in the world, and also especially in India. And so we have to do something, and permaculture came up because first we have to create food. So permaculture definition, it's if we want to get rid of this word that limits us in our mind in permanent culture, you can say that the permaculture, it's a way of applying what we can see in this nature. The nature around us, 3.8 billion years of existence on this planet, we have to apply the laws of nature. And why are we in such a wrong situation is because us humans, we are the only species that are not applying the human laws. And that's why we are in such a mess. All the other species, naturally, instinctively, they apply it. And so we have to learn to apply them again. And that's why permaculture is so significant. So 2002 and 2011, David Holmgren, we wrote a book saying, do not limit agriculture, permaculture in agriculture. This is the flower of permaculture. You can see, there is permaculture in building, in technology, in culture and education, in health, in finance, in the land, how to organize the land, and so, etc. and so forth and so on. So permaculture, it's basically wherever human is putting his big hands on, has to be rethought and put into a design. What we call design in permaculture, we can also change the word and say create ecosystem. Making a design, it's creating an ecosystem. So I am part of an ecosystem, you are part of an ecosystem. India, it's an ecosystem. Your business, it's an ecosystem. Life, it's individual ecosystem, even for the ladybug and the giraffe I'll talk about. So if you want to know whether or not you are wearing the hat of the permaculture, your business, your enterprise, the way you are living should take care of us and take care of people and fairly share the income and the result, the energy you create. If I do a business and all the money is for me, it's not, even if I take care of earth and take care of people, it's not fair. Earth care is taking care of the ocean, trees, animals. Even when I buy and I live in a city, I have to make sure that what I am eating and the way I am eating is taking care of the planet. And care of people, because I'm a human being, and if I don't have around me a community, I have to take care of, because the community is taking care of me. So what is human permaculture? It's also applying laws of nature. We are a social species. We are a social mammal. And like wolves, like lions, we have to live in community, hunt together, create business together, and exchange, take care of one another. Because without my community, I will not survive. This is something important. It's not because I want to be good and have good skills about how people should be, social skill. No, it's because if I don't do that, I put in danger my life and the life of my next generation. 4.65 billion years ago, the planet appeared. So I want to tell you about human permaculture. If you see my slide, all the red was from 8 billion years. It was to get organized in the mineral world. And then 3,000.8 billion years ago, there was the first cyanobacteria. I was ancestor, a little bacteria that was changing into algae, and the algae into plants, and plants from the water became plants from the earth when the water left back up. And then animals appear 2 billion years ago, and then slowly, the dinosaurs left 200,000 years only. The Homo sapiens appeared. So you have to know that in this evolution, so first the mineral world, then the vegetal world, 8 billion years, and then animal world, and all of a sudden a new species. You have to understand that each species that appears on this planet for the 3.8 billion years are here to fasten the process and to create more life. For instance, when the flowers sexually spread, the pollination appears with the bee and makes it faster and more possible. So every species has a role and a function when they come up, when they are created. From a previous species, there is a mutation, like we come from monkeys, 7 million years before we were monkeys, and we slowly became human. So the question you have to ask yourself, if every species comes with a function, what would be the human function? You see, 2,000 years ago, it's nothing. Pops in a new species with new tools to do what? And this is the question we should teach our children. What they have to do, what they have to achieve. Not so the industrial world came teaching us that we have to achieve a good job, having good money, being successful, and die. This is not enough. There must be something deeper. Most reason that it's not only for us, but also for our surrounding ecosystem. 3.8 billion years ago, 200,000 years, it's nothing. If I remove the dot between 3 and 8, and let's say this planet this whole planet, made it in 38 years. We're only here for 4 months. So we are not bad. We are not doing wrong thing in purpose. We're just ignorant of what? We are ignorant of the laws of nature. And these laws of nature has to be applied. And if we don't, so much will happen to the human species. It will disappear, and the next species that is close to our genes will take place. So most probably the chimpanzee. So only 4 months, it's nothing. It's a baby. We are babies. We make mistakes. You know, like children, excited children. They have a new bicycle, and they, in failing, they learn. In falling the bicycle, they learn how to ride. So we have to learn how to ride. And now there is a big switch, and we have to learn quickly, because we can change, and we must change. All right. So we are very young. We are not bad. In human permaculture, we never say, very rarely say that human being is doing wrong things. Is just not learning the lesson. So what you have to do, and this is the main thing of human permaculture. So we said, what's the human species came on this planet to do? Create ecosystem. And that's why permaculture became so significant. And human permaculture has the same role, how to reorganize instinctively humans into this planet, because we're far away. We lost our instinct. We completely lost, because we want to use our left brain. So every being on this planet, whether animal, insect, bacteria, they have a role. And some, we say that they are parasites. It's not true. It's because we don't understand what they bring, but they all bring something. So this is called the niche concept. The niche, it's a position in the environment of a species or an individual. So what is my niche? That would be, what is my position in my society? Not only for me, my house, my wife, my family, for our. It's written in my book that the challenge in this new humanity will be to think in we. So what is that niche concept? You have to go deeper. You see, I take the example of the giraffe. I was watching a little movie, and giraffe got scared in a little group, and they start running, and they're so unbalanced that some of them fell. So I was asked myself, but why nature creates such unharmonious animal with a very long neck, a huge heart to pump so the blood will go to the very far head? If we look in a million years ago, the same animals split into families, and his cousin, the okapi, didn't grow a neck like that. So why nature create, nature cannot go wrong. There must be a purpose. So we see giraffes are eating trees. So those trees have a program. If they have outside, if you see the tree outside, the roots is no bigger than the outside of the tree. So it's like a mirror. The highest branch will be the deepest root, unless you prune. So if you prune, you see my cursor, if you prune here, the roots will grow here. So the giraffe came up to eat with his big neck the trees in a desert place, so the trees can roots further down, reach the water tap, and allow in a desert forest. So the acacia, it's as though the acacia created the giraffe. Without the giraffe, the acacia will not survive, because is limited in its program to go not enough down to reach the water. It's the same with the ladybird, the ladybug. It's, I don't know if you have this little insect in India, I think so, is eating aphids, and the aphids are eating the plants. It's because the aphids doesn't have a program to stop eating. So the nature created, the plants created the ladybug to limit the aphids and allow just the stress. The aphids has a role too. They have the role of stressing the plant. So instead of making vegetation, the plant say, oh, I'm going to die. Better hurry, create flowers and fruits. So every function is like that. So in the first, you can see, on the first level, this is how we think now. First level, the ladybug is eating aphids, and the giraffe is eating trees. In fact, you have to go deeper. Giraffe is eating trees in order to roots and allow the forest and life. And if there is a forest, there is more water, more insect, more shade, more food, and so forth and so on. And the ladybug is allowing the plants to propagate fruit. I hope I'm clear. So if every little thing I could go further and further, and I'm very excited to learn all those things. Then I start looking at us human. I was receiving on my farm 10,000 children per year. And watching those children, I would see children that would have the same behavior at the same spot of the farm. And that's how pop up this concept of niche. It's not something I invented. It's something I observed. And you see, becoming permaculture is becoming a good observer. So I observed that at the same spot, children that never met each other, they never met each other, would have the same reaction. And I live in Quebec, where there was American Indian, and they knew that niche concept. You see, so it's something I didn't invent the process, it exists, it does exist. And if you look at the religion, if you look the story of Shiva, there are the gods taking care of agriculture, gods taking care of love, taking care of wealth. So they have niche also. We forgot that concept of niche. We were industrialized, and we just try to feed people into an industrial world in order to consume and to create money. So the question you have to ask yourself, what is my life purpose? If you don't have one, if it's only to have a job and make money, you have to feel the passion. And then when you are in the passion, you are in your niche. How to get that? Now you have this, I created them. The first thing you have to do is to get to know your niche. And I created that online test to help you. The niche is not the profile of one, it's not one profile. It's a combination of the 3 best talents you have. You were born in your DNA with those 3 best talents. And those 3 best talents, you can do it for her or for him. It's difficult for me, I do like that, and it's done. So you have to, these talents, you put them to serve life. It's easy for you, and you have to look what is your drive, and in your drive you have your passion, and then pops up a mission. So this is what we are trying to do.